So Alex and I went to the OPEX program design course, and then we did the assessment online. And the point of doing that was so that we could help program the funds. And we had talked to Vanessa and Trisha beforehand, made sure that they were cool with it because we wanted to help out the gym. So we went and did it, and we got a lot of cool tidbits from it and a lot of cool knowledge. And so now we were hoping to start it before the Open to kind of work up to the Open, but I think with the Open 3 weeks away, it's a little late for that. So we are planning on starting it Monday, and from there on. So the first phase of it, though, is going to be a phase of testing, essentially. Well, that's what it is. So we're going to test all of our athletes, every member. At least we're going to try to. I know that not everyone comes on the same days, and there's always people who don't come for a month or don't come for 2 months or whatnot. So we're going to try to hit as many members as we can. And we're going to test everything in a variety of ways in different things, and that's what we're here to go over. And then once we get the testing done and we feel like we've hit a good number of members, we are going to create an avatar. Essentially take the average of everyone and find out what weaknesses are, what strengths are, and program more towards building up our members' weaknesses and maintaining strength, still building on it, but more of creating just creating a complete picture based off of our avatar. And then sporadically we'll do more testing to make sure things are getting better, things are changing, and as things change we can adjust and go forth in that way. Any questions on that part?
So I guess it was just overall, just gonna,
Yep.
what is OPT? What makes it different from typical CrossFit programming?
So CrossFit is constantly very functional movement, so high intensity, we all know that. When we all took our CrossFit cert, at least when we took it, I don't know, I think the new cert now, they don't talk about programming.
They do briefly. It's different too.
The
They don't
last
talk about
day.
singlet, couplet, triplet anymore. They
Mine
talk
did.
about, I just redid mine.
So the original, like a lot of gyms start out and they kind of do the mix and match, like do a couplet here, singlet here, a triplet there, shipper here, and just kind of throw stuff in there, and then hey, let's do a 5-3-1 cycle, or let's just snatch here and snatch there, and there's no really there's no really plan behind it. Like it's just kind of like, this feels like a good idea. You know what I mean?
Or there's cycles of, we're going to work on pull-ups for 3 weeks, or we're going to, yeah.
Right, and so and what happens is, in what we've seen, is that all the members, or not all the members, but a lot of the members will get burnt out. They'll say their hands are hurting and then they got to do pull-ups again, or they'll say that they're
Bored.
They're bored, or whatever. Insert an excuse. They've squatted too much and their upper body is weak and blah blah blah.
And everybody knows who these members are because they have the biggest mouths.
They talk a lot, yeah, and it's annoying, and so the goal of the OPEX stuff is essentially having a plan behind the madness. Okay, so instead of just coming up with a random couplet, what Alex and I learned in our class is essentially energy system training. And so you have your different energy systems, and depending on who the athlete is, whether it's Trisha or Amanda or Alex, they have different needs, right? So Alex is more of a competitive guy. He does competition stuff, so he needs more of a intensity kind of spectrum. Whereas somebody like maybe Trisha and Amanda will be more into fitness. and just staying fit and looking good naked. Okay, so.
Naked is an issue.
I wanna look
Clothes
good
on,
naked too.
right?
So essentially, like, there's no reason that they should be doing certain crazy intense things because you don't need that for fitness, right? Like, you don't need to do Fran followed by Amanda followed by Grace, like with no rest, right? Which you might see sometimes. Like, you just don't. It's not necessary. It's not going to build fitness. It's actually going to hurt you. So,
Bernard and Marcus are gaming.
essentially and then so what the energy system training is you start out and you want to build, depending on the athlete, if you have an athlete who is, let's say they're a marathoner, so they're really good at going long, okay? So then you would kind of build them aerobically from a smaller, more intense piece into more of a longer piece and build up their energy system on a smaller piece.
Jesus.
But then you also have your strength stuff. So you want to build up your strengths. You want to build. It's more of like focusing on the weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
We went through 3 days of it with James and Cheryl, and there's really a lot to it, and it's impossible for us to tell you what we learned.
Unless you want to give us 3 weeks,
Yeah.
8 hours a day, it is
like James was doing it for he's been doing it for like 20 years, so he's really good at it. But so for our purposes though, for fitness, we plan on just programming not crazy intense things, but hitting the full spectrum of things. You know, like if females tend to have bad upper body stuff, we're gonna probably have females do some pulling work and some pushing work. You know, if males have, I don't know, really good pulling and pushing, yes. God damn it. My mind just went right out the window.
Sorry.
So yeah, does that kind of get?
Yeah.
Does that kind of help?
I mean, I'm familiar with it. I just don't know it when it comes down to it, what the difference is. So.
And
Yeah.
you have girl programming and boy programming is.
Well, we haven't figured out exactly how we're gonna do it yet. The first piece is that we have to test and we have to find out who we have. You know.
There's a huge discrepancy maybe, but if everybody's more closer together, then maybe everybody's on the same
Because
line.
one avatar may be too much of a stretch.
Well, after talking to James, he says one avatar, like if you have separate classes, maybe 2 avatars, but that's it. Just because the programming,
Yes.
and I can tell you that the programming is very, very intense. How to match everything together, counting time under tension down to a second for every movement, including medcons. It gets pretty intense. If you have more than one template,
Very
you're trying to
detailed.
follow,
Very detailed.
it's just overwhelming.
Yeah. So, so I guess kind of.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like the
we want.
biggest takeaway that I hear when I hear them say this is that they are going to test the gym and just find out where we are and program around that.
Yeah.
So, when he says test, it's like, okay, what is your 500-meter row? That's going to be a test. What is your max, I don't know, what lift?
Squat.
Squat.
Why not?
I mean, it's like, it's
Strict
not,
press, whatever.
we're not saying, go do Fran and let's see what your time is, and if you suck, then we're gonna put you in this group. It's like, it's just like these, like,
And
little tests.
that's a great example because doing Fran, and let's say someone that has a bad Fran time, but that could mean many things. Like maybe they're not good at thrusters, maybe they're not good at pull-ups, maybe their hand strength isn't good enough to hold on to the bar long enough, but they really have good pulling strength. You just don't know. So we don't have a printout of the program.
We can pull it up. You want to pull it up?
Can we pull it up on the screen outside?
I was gonna say you could just pull it up on your phone.
Is it on the programming doc?
Yeah, it's in there.
Okay.
It's in
So
there
if y'all
starting
have
this
your phones,
week.
why don't y'all do that? Everybody's got their phone.
Yeah,
and
I've
then
got a
they all.
bigger screen if you guys want to use that.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't mind.
So if y'all could pull up the programming doc real quick.
I need to delete all those other
And
ones.
you're familiar with everything.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I could tell you.
No, we.
Google
So
Docs is
who's,
an awesome
who's
app.
coaching Monday?
Yeah.
I am.
Alright, for coaches on Monday.
In fact, Amanda should be able to stand up and be able to tell everybody what the tests are.
It's probably me.
They're fun.
They're awesome.
We're not putting.
But they're not gonna be the same tests that you put us through, that you're gonna put them through, right?
Most of them will be.
Some,
Yeah, they're all kind of the
I
same.
mean, 'cause you can't, I don't see you putting all the dudes to roll for 30 minutes. I mean, that is maybe 20,
No,
maybe
no.
a 5K.
So-
a different type of test.
Yeah.
It'll be,
We're about to go through it.
the 30 minutes one is something that I'll probably use more on an individual
Face to
base, but things like your 2K row,
Yeah.
it's in there.
Yeah.
Things like the external rotation, power races, they're in there.
So like, but then we need to go through that with everybody.
Yeah,
That's
but,
why-
but this
Yeah.
is what I think, if it's something that we don't know, just post a demo
Video.
video in the coach's corner, don't make a big deal out of it, we don't have to keep meeting and talking, just post it and, you know, if there's some specific
Yeah.
guidelines, just put those in
The
there.
most important thing about this whole thing though, is we need to make sure that we record everything
In Wi-Fi.
and Wi-Fi, and like all the coaches need to be on the same page on like tempo. Like
Did
a
we-
lot of us know what the tempo work is, but if we say
we figure out that we
3010,
Yeah.
we gotta know what that means.
Did we
for
figure
every
out
move.
that Wi-Fi can work?
That's what I'm like. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold up.
We're
We
using
decided
it-
we were not gonna
we're
put it
not
in
using
Wi-Fi because it's gonna be a disaster to download. Remember, I sent y'all how it does. Sent y'all a big email about
Yes.
this.
Yeah, I remember.
Thank you, thank you. Which is why
Can you put demo videos in Wi-Fi?
we have this. There are demo
There's
videos.
some that
Yeah,
are
we
already
can-
in there,
If
right?
it's-
This
you know,
coming
you
week.
record like one of us or something, like, or
The ones that they
Which one
suggest,
is
so I followed, I
Am I on the
had
wrong
an
thing?
OPT coach, he worked at OPT, and he suggested Catalyst and he suggested
Is it February?
bodybuilder.com.
yeah, they
What
got
is it
regular
here?
videos.
Those are the two that he said, if you don't know what something is, go to one of those two places, and that's the nice video.
I thought I heard
I'm like, this doesn't.
Yeah.
You're like
there's
that-
a
I
couple
did that the
like
other day.
Owl that aren't on Catalyst,
Yeah.
and things like that, cause they're bodybuilding.
Alright, so here we go.
He's already had one.
So we're testing for the next week, okay? So from February 8th
Like you see
to
his own reflection.
February 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, the 12th. 13th is a
Saturday.
Saturday, so that's a team one. So here's the plan. So we get everyone we can next week, right? We're not gonna turn around and just do it again because we all know not everyone's gonna come next week. So the plan is we do it for 1 week. Then once we get a week, if people have not done it when they come into class the next week, as a coach, you need to ask people, like, have you done the testing? If they say no, then you need to tell them to do the testing, and then have the other class that has done the testing do the regular workout. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
that's kind of the first point. So, you
So we
know,
talked about that, how are you gonna manage that in a big class? Well, if the testing's a 2K row, go row 2K.
yeah.
And you can then work back into the class, we're not gonna say you can't
For
work back into the
example,
class.
Monday is a 500 meter row for time. So if somebody comes in the next week and they haven't done it, just have them do it.
They can do it as part of their warm-up.
So that'll just be our
Or
skill
after,
lift, will be
yeah.
the testing, and then the metcon.
Both. So, all right. So
the
Monday,
First three are.
first piece is 12 minutes. Find a 1 rep max strict press. It's pretty simple. Nothing too crazy there. Then 12 minutes to find a 1 rep max weighted pull up. So most people are not going to be able to do
We're
it.
just like putting weights on you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you just take a dumbbell and hold it between your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Dumbbell,
Or
five,
like
5 pounds.
weight like between your knees.
I know it's like max with between.
Yep. So then after that, it's 500 meter row for time, okay? And then after that is just 13.4, which was just a workout.
That's all Monday?
That's Monday.
Shit.
So you say shit, but let's think about this. So strict press, not a lot of people are going to be working up to like 225.
No, but you said 12 minutes plus 12 minutes, that's already 24 minutes plus,
minutes.
plus the 500 meter row, that's gonna lay people out for at least 5 minutes. So we have to
And
make
then
sure we manage our
a
time.
7 minute AMRAP.
Which, oh, 7 minute. Still,
You gotta clean it
you gotta get a good
You
warm
gotta
up.
load it, you gotta.
Yeah, so, yeah, just, I mean, I understand, we just gotta be really, because of
Time
the time,
management,
it's gonna be crucial.
Time management
Huh,
would be.
you're gonna have to coach.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah. So yeah, and I also like when we program this, like we gotta think about like a lot of people won't take 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Like every time we say,
for a
hey, take
weighted
15
pull-up.
minutes, they're done in 5
Yeah.
minutes.
And that's gonna hurt the true, because a lot of the ladies are done in like, 5 minutes, and and you can see them, you're like, that was nowhere near one of their max effort, and that's gonna hurt the validity of
Well,
the avatar, right?
Okay, so that actually goes into something a little different. So that more goes into what's the term? When you take 85% from max reps, you're finding your
yeah, that's gonna be neuromuscular.
neuromuscular efficiency. So somebody who has low neuromuscular efficiency, which is, I guess, most women, so most women will not be able to build up to a high rep max, whereas someone like us,
Smoky on a 95% for reps.
yeah,
That's just.
that's their
They're-
neuromuscular
that's
efficiency.
the
So
way
we're
they're-
high, most women are low, so that's different. So we'll also test that too. So, alright, so for Monday, just going through it. So strict press, we know that. So then weighted pull-up. So weighted pull-up is calculated by the weight you have on you. So if you have a 10-pound dumbbell or kettlebell or whatever, it's that plus your body weight.
We need to put that in the notes for that day.
Yes.
We will.
Supposed to, and the scale is always out there, you guys know that, we moved the scale out.
Scale is out there.
Yeah,
So
it's
where do
always
we
out
stop
there.
that? Strict there?
Can
What do you
you?
do if they
Yeah,
can't
I never tried to
get,
keep
can't
it
do body weight?
strict.
That's,
Body weight
then that's,
minus-
you can't get any, you have 0.
Because they're,
Yeah.
We're gonna do body weight minus green bag or something.
And so we actually, Alex did this
Yeah.
with his class. I did it with the class too.
Yeah.
This goes quick because most people can't do it weighted.
Do you need to do pull up or chin up? Doesn't matter.
Chin up.
Oh.
And what
See, we need to put
Yeah.
these specific. We'll put these
We want-
specifics in the programming
So chin
document.
up is this.
Just so people know.
Yeah, they want to see
Chin,
that.
chin
Oh.
up is all bicep,
No,
pull up
no,
is
no.
all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
James is Canadian. He calls
likes
this
the
chin-ups
chin-ups.
and this pull-ups.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Well, then I'm back.
That's
So
that's
this is a
how
chin up.
that's how we
that's already
are.
total loony, I mean.
That's a
I
chin
think
up.
chin
I'm
over the
with
bar
you.
is
That's a
this.
chin up.
But we want
to some people, a chin up is to here and a pull up is a chest to bar, or what we call it.
Right. Yeah. All right. So yeah, to clarify, you want a
Hands
normal
faces away.
grip and chin to bar. That's it.
And for those that
Um,
can't do it, how do you?
Zero.
How do you?
Zero.
Zero.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you might wanna add that into their profile and not have them go right 0, 'cause that's not
Yeah, I
gonna
was
feel
gonna say,
very
I'm
good.
gonna, like, pretty much all my classes are gonna 0. I don't think all of those 839 can go.
Writing it on
There's
here.
not a lot of women that, I'll come here and have it.
Wherever it's gonna be written.
That'll make it feel better.
All right.
That turns it off, right?
So
Wait,
that strict press
Can you clarify that?
is.
I just wanna make sure
whatever
everyone
weight you
understands
press,
that.
And we got the weighted pull up.
'Cause I
So
did.
then a 500-meter row, that is your time. Okay. Easiest way to do that is program in 500 meters, have them go down, and then it just stops. So that's Monday. So for those people that are doing Monday, that's how you do it.
What is
So
the max? I know you said it was 13 whatever, but.
7-minute AMRAP, 3 clean and jerks, 3 toes to bar.
It's like a ladder.
Okay,
And it's
so where I'm going with that question is, what if, I know there's some people who can't do a toe to bar, so do they get 0 for the workout?
So this workout isn't really designed to really do anything.
It's not really a tester.
It's just you come do a Metcon.
Yeah, it's just
Like the
it's,
ones that are testers it'll say tester.
and yeah, and the reason is just because they, we know our athletes like to do stuff. So
Yeah, I can foresee that people are gonna have to scale things, and does their score count, or do they get a 0? That's really the question.
no, yeah, that doesn't really matter.
So
So
we
the
don't wanna-
pieces that you need to focus on recording is the strict press, the weighted pull up, and the 500-meter row.
So if they can't do a regular pull up and they use a band, we don't want to put in the color band, or we just don't care.
No.
Just a
We
0.
don't care about assistance.
Okay.
It's just if you can't do it, you can't do it.
So do we
So-
want to record it by class?
We'll let them do it for the sake of it.
Just,
but
I
it's-
guess, name. So
You're recorded, just record as 0.
So this brings up another point where we have a notebook. Everything that all the testers is going to be recorded in this
Not
notebook.
playing.
All right. So when on Mondays, so when y'all come in, you'll have them. And the way I did it is I wrote the testers along the top, and then their name along the side, and then their score down, just right down the page.
Okay, so we just like beat into their head, Wi-Fi, and now we're saying use a notebook. So what?
Well, the point is that when we talked about this, the point is that we don't know how to grab the data in Wi-Fi
Oh, and download it to
and
Excel.
download it into Excel.
Are you, I found it today.
Just open it.
You can do it, but it's gonna be like very.
If we can do it, that'd be great.
Why don't
Yeah, you
just
export to Excel.
open it? Oh, just open a spreadsheet already.
You search day.
Can you hold this?
But by the whole class or by individuals?
Oh, is it only by name?
We can do it by movement, but only like very specific movements, like back squats. Like you can't pick a movement we have input. And then we've got 3,000 members in there. So now we gotta sort it by 3,000 members.
Why don't we just open a spreadsheet on the computer?
3,000's not that many. Like in Excel, that's not that much.
Yeah, why don't we have a big
Just
computer
put a
out there
tab
and
on
monitor,
your-
just put
We
a
don't have
spreadsheet.
Excel on that computer.
Oh, we don't have Excel?
Do it in Google Docs, that way I can
We could do it in Google Docs. That's what we need to do.
I mean, the notebooks, I mean, if you're gonna take it from the notebook and have to put it in I mean, I don't know, just sit there and like, when you get done, alright, quickly,
Well,
your results.
You can always
Especially
go
working while
by
you're-
Here's the
Excel.
thing, who wants to figure it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, the notebook's.
Okay.
Yeah, I access it all the time.
I mean, I can show you how it is in Modify and see what you
I
think.
know, that sounds sweet.
Yeah, we could
Probably
look
is
at
one
Yeah.
beamed in the head.
Alright, so for now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna record in the notebook. You're gonna do the tester along the top, their name along the side, and then their results. Make sense?
Or what about skills classes? Are we doing testers and skills classes? Should that be?
Good
Take
question.
all classes,
Yes.
Yes.
at least. I mean, it's just a 500-meter row. You could
I
add
mean,
it.
you don't have to do
Make
the
sure we're on the
you
same.
don't have to do
I mean, they
the
can be
AMRAP.
testing, I mean, they're gonna be testing in my class anyway, and I'll probably have a different avatar for them.
Could you send it to,
But-
Will, so he could have that?
Yeah, I mean, they're the same people I go to
What-
both of my classes.
Why don't we coordinate, if we're gonna do a different skills avatar, why don't we do that as one and you and I just coordinate for Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday?
That's separate from what we're talking about, so you'll talk
We'll
about
use the
that.
same exact
So it's
testers.
not-
Y'all talk about
That's fine,
that.
we'll just have which ones
later.
do Tuesday, which ones do Wednesday.
That's
which
good.
ones do this.
Because if we print it out like by alphabetical order, and then you can use the same sheet for week after week or test
And
after
just post it on the wall, make
Yeah.
a big spreadsheet.
Yeah,
Down.
It's a good idea.
This is so
It's right
smart.
here.
That, because
Pull-ups.
you're
Yeah.
gonna spend time screwing around.
Well,
Because
that's-
I won't remember if I was the
Yeah.
third person on the 5th day or the 12th person on the 10th.
Alright, so going forward, that's Monday. So Tuesday, I lost my spot.
And then put it on the wall and then people
Send it to me.
complain.
I'll print it
Alright,
on the
so who's
flyer.
coaching Tuesday?
It won't be done by Monday.
Everybody? Alright,
Say it
so
again.
Tuesday,
Okay.
No, you are. You are. 'Cause I'm in Iowa. In the middle of a cornfield.
Right, so Tuesday there's more stuff.
Tuesday.
Wednesday it's the same thing. You got
well,
the-
you have to,
We need
like, kinda like the weighted pull-ups. So Tuesday is back squat, that's easy. Then strict pull-ups, the same as the weighted, just
In a
to the
row.
bar.
How many you can get in a row
Yep.
without coming down?
One set, as many as you can
It's the
do.
day after weighted pull-ups.
Bring it on, Lisa. Bring it on.
Yes, it is.
But it's just one cherry picking workouts last week. I wish that's what I was gonna do.
So then the next one after that though is also a tester, and it's a 10 rounds for time, 4 kettlebell swings, 6 burpees, 8 wall balls. Okay.
That is the tester.
Huh?
That is the tester.
That's a tester.
So is everyone supposed to use the same size wall ball?
Yeah, I can do that.
Well, yeah, 20 and a 14.
So no matter what, do we have the class use?
If you do use another ball, then yeah, you can do that, but you need to specify in your notes.
I
Okay.
feel like most people do.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to because we only have like 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, and a lot of girls.
But
do
the only reason I'm letting you know that's a tester is because we need to record the results on that workout.
Okay.
Okay,
We'll-
so like
and we
the-
can put that in Modify.
Does the order they do the workouts matter, the testers? Cause you know, we don't have enough rowers, have somebody row while they do this, does it matter, or,
No, it doesn't matter.
Per se, no.
okay,
So I mean, if you have somebody
Well-
that didn't,
can't do a pull-up, start with row?
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like, we can't do
I'll
pull-ups,
leave-
you
I'll
can
leave
start
that-
rowing.
I don't think it's gonna matter in the grand scheme of things. I'll leave that to you guys as coaches. Like if y'all need to like coordinate your class, do it. Whatever. All right. So
But
that's
so if somebody scales the wall ball weight, are you even gonna use the data or is it just gonna be thrown away? I asked.
we'll
but-
use. I think we'll use it.
Okay, so
But
we'll.
they need to specify because that's important. We need to know if they can't do an RX wall ball. you know. The next day after that, Tabata sit-ups, which is a tester. We need to know the score on that.
On the sit-ups, it can be so many different ways. You wanna.
You need touch.
So there is an actual specific standard that James uses. He wants your feet anchored. He wants you to touch behind the head. And he wants you to touch your feet.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
for all of these, do y'all mind putting the day before on the coach's board? This is how you test it, here's the standard. I'm not gonna remember.
Yeah.
Unless you only have like half of it.
Yeah. And if we forget, then just send us a message or something.
No, we won't let you forget. Tricia and I'll.
I'll do it.
I will forget. So yeah, and I don't, if they want to use dumbbells to weight their feet, that's fine. I don't know if it'll matter. Essentially on that, the score is what, like 12 to 13 every 20 seconds is
14 is like if you average 14 or more,
you're
good to go.
you're good, yeah.
If you're under 14, if you're above 10, like between 10 and 14 on average for every one of them, then, I mean, we can say that core is not a weakness, but it's
Right.
something that you can still work on.
Yeah.
If you're under 10, like let's just say you average 5 to 6 or maybe even 7 for all rounds, then
We have
obviously we
issues.
gotta work on some core strength.
So we're putting in a score for all 8 rounds. It's not
All
like a
8
true
rounds.
Tabata where you
I
just
was
put in
gonna
your
say, what's
lowest.
your lowest one, right?
No, no,
Nah, you
yeah.
go, we're looking for average
Yeah.
of all of them. So if you score 14 through all of them, you're good. If you score
Wait,
one
we used to
14
use
and
something
then
like that.
7 10s, well then you're closer to the 10 than the 14. So we'll say
Yeah,
your
so when
average
you
10.
record it in the book, or you have the person record it, whatever, I guess if, just let them know that they specify what they did per round. They did 14 straight, just say 14 straight, or if they did 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
So, Lisa had a genius idea. She's so smart over there. I can make a list of all of our current active members and send it to you, and then you can put like all the testers and what needs, like an example of what needs to be recorded.
Yeah,
How does that sound? And we can like post it on a wall.
we can talk about that.
We can talk about that.
Well, if you do that, send it to me as soon as you can, not this weekend, but Monday would be the earliest I can do it. I can print out in a plotter at Shell
Okay.
illegally and try not to get in trouble for it. And
So
bring it in a
then,
map binder.
after
I'll
that,
take
so
some more
Tabata
of the
sit-ups, then 12 minutes to find
Somebody
one
else
rep
is getting
max
laid off.
clean.
Do
Nothing
60.
special there.
When that's clean.
One rep max clean.
Yeah.
The important thing here though is that right after that, 8 minutes AMRAP cleans at 90% of what they did. Okay?
And all this will be documented.
All of that will be documented. So the weight
There's
and then the
book
amount of
cover
reps
for
that
you
they
to
did
work out.
in that 8 minutes, in that 8-minute period. Okay? Then 2K row for time. You need to log that too.
Yeah, I might be sick
After that, the next day is a Sorensen test for max time.
Up to 2 minutes.
Which is what?
Alex, show 'em what it is.
So basically, we'll post a video to it. But so you have a mental picture. We're gonna have to use the GHD. It's
His
basically
favorite
holding
sense.
a plank position, upside down, and you're supposed to last 2 minutes. Right. So it's a lot of
Just holding it.
You're
Okay.
just laying
You're on your
flat.
stomach.
on your stomach.
Chinese plank or
What day is
anchored
this?
or you're just.
Feet anchored on the GHD,
You're
right?
actually balancing just on your
Mike, what
legs.
day is that?
Like, you're still hungry?
We'll send y'all a video, but this is
I've heard
And my
that.
protein bar.
Guys, remember, we're gonna send videos
This
of all
is
this, so we don't
Thursday.
really need to talk about.
it's a very easy test.
Well,
You're gonna have to
yeah.
plan accordingly.
The only
You
reason-
will need the GHD, and we'll only have 2 of them.
Well, I mean, I was asking what day it was because Christian has a GHD and I have a GHD at my house, and we could bring it up here for that day.
It's on Thursday.
Thursday would be actually better.
It's the lowest attendance day, right?
It's the lowest attendance day.
But the also thing we gotta, we're gonna keep trying to get people to do this. Anyways, whatever. Alright, so
Hold on,
that's,
real quick, let me ask you this, if we really wanna get data, a lot of people only have 2 or 3 times a week memberships. If we really want data, would we give everybody unlimited just for this, so they can all come and do all the testers?
Well, we're not really letting the, well, I guess we would have to let them know we're testing.
no,
It's happening
because
Monday.
that's what I said at the beginning. after this,
We're gonna
after
do our
this,
best.
after this week, if you're coaching and at the beginning of the class, you need to ask people, hey guys, have you done the testers?
How many testers are there?
Every day.
There's every day
Every
for
day.
a week.
But like
I don't know, like 20. So, yeah, it's really not. So you need to let them know, like, hey, if you haven't done testers, you need to let me know. I'll have you do testers. You can find out which ones they haven't done, and then have them do one or two or three.
Do we have like a cutoff date? Or could we have
We'll
one?
let y'all know. We're probably gonna do this for like a month
Okay.
and
But
try
some
and get as
people,
many
like if
people
they're
as we can.
traveling or something, I think it helps people to know like, hey, this is what we're doing. We have to get them in by this date. So if you have to miss next week, just let us know so that we can get them all in the week after. Or
Well,
whatever.
and I think
We're
that's
gonna
why if we do a
continually
spreadsheet on the
communicate,
wall.
yeah, a spreadsheet on the wall is great, and
Things
we're
that
gonna
we want
continually communicate this on our website, on Facebook, we're going to continually make people aware of what's going on, and you guys feel free, if they ask you, like, what are we doing? Well, we're trying to see what the strengths and weaknesses are of the gym so we can program accordingly. That's all they need to know.
Let your classes know.
That is it.
And you guys are the coaches. You guys know more than them, and you don't need to explain it.
Yeah.
Just be like, this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
If they complain, tell them to go over it.
Yeah. The testers will help us program.
But I think conversely, I think some people like it because I think a lot of people like they just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's
I
really
don't know
frustrating.
my 1 rep max on that.
That's a very frustrating. Who doesn't know the 1 rep max is? Like 600. Like,
And it's not
That's where they need
necessarily.
to put in Wi-Fi.
This morning.
But I mean, when was the last time we programmed a 1 rep max deadlift? Like it's been a very long time.
Yeah.
So a lot of people just don't know.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, real quick, just to get through this. So that was Thursday. Friday, AMRAP, strict handstand push-ups. Then side bridge left and right. So obviously, I don't know what 90% of members aren't gonna be able to do a handstand push-up. Maybe they will get a 0 for that. Okay. If they get 1, they get 1. If they get 5, they get 5. All right. It's kidding, so you can kill.
Oh.
No, it's not. Sorry, it's strict.
I was like, in my head, I'm thinking, yep.
So then, side bridge right and left. A side bridge is where it's like a plank on the side. Yeah.
On their
And you throw
hand or
that
on their elbow?
on your elbow. Yeah, we'll post the video and let y'all know.
Okay. Record the amount of time they can stay.
Right. Then a 20-minute AMRAP, 200-meter row, 10 dumbbell push press, 15 box jumps. That's a tester you need to record. I mean, around to get it. And that's it.
Woohoo!
Staying for the max time for Monday. That needs to be recorded.
Yes.
I'm missing it so long.
So, what's up?
Okay, so if we're gonna start telling people that we're testing, and then we're gonna let people, y'all don't want them to do these workouts more than once though.
No.
One and done, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, so don't let them come in and like 3 weeks later be like, oh,
I can do better. Yeah.
Yeah.
they can't have no markups on the piece of paper.
Yeah, I mean, if it happens, it happens.
If it happens, it happens. It's not gonna. If,
One person's not going to sway the entire
if
mentor
10
after.
people out of 290, you know, have multiple, like, let's just say they do 2 tests for a deadlift, it's just not gonna throw the day off that much. You know, but don't encourage it.
Nobody's going to roll a 2K twice.
And then,
Nobody's doing a 2K twice.
yeah, so, yeah, then there's your outliers, right? So you have your outliers that are not even going to be considered. They're just going to
Do
be.
we want to have extra coaches just to make sure people don't cheat?
No.
I don't think it's that important.
Have people
Yeah,
coach
like,
each other.
We're doing
Okay.
Yeah.
Explain why we're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, we have to
People will
explain. No,
appreciate it.
I don't think a lot of people, I mean, I guess some people do cheese wraps, but
I guess 1 or 2 won't really
Being
affect.
pushed
Can't really-
to come on
Yeah, you
Sunday.
gotta think
Burpee
about-
penalty threat to anybody.
Yeah.
That's
So,
what I would say. Burpee penalty for
so to
every.
conclude real quick,
Put it
so,
We're trying to get averages. So I mean, even if X amount of people would give themselves a handful of reps, it's just not gonna throw the average off by that much.
it's not, yeah.
This
So
is
it's
going
not.
to be a lot of work. We recognize that. We're going to take some time. We don't need to stress out over it. We just need to say, hey guys, we have these testers. She's going to get it on the wall. We're going to say, make sure you find your name and make sure you've done all of them within the month.
Yeah.
You can do them as part of your warm-up. If you haven't done this lift, say we're doing deadlift one day, but you haven't found your 1 rep max clean, go find your 1 rep max clean, and then you're gonna do that specific workout for that clean rather than the workout we're doing,
Right.
right? So it's not,
And if they complain, say, well, I want to do the workout today. Say, too bad.
or say, when do you plan to do this? Because it needs to be done by the end of the week. What is your plan? You know, but yes, I agree. He starts to get really fussy